Prepare yourself.
Oh, this is the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Hello again and welcome to the Cathedral of Wisdom for the Ninja Troll Digicast. My name is Tim Dixon and I am joined, as always, with Mike Worth.
Hoi hoi.
Yeah. Tell us what we got coming up.
Welcome, Ninja Troll Nation. We've got a super duper MC party pooper sized episode for you today. We're going to wrap up.
Wait a minute. Am I MC Party Pooper?
Yeah.
I should go.
Did I imply that? Because I meant it.
No. If I didn't imply it, then I should have.
I meant it. But coming up today, we're going to wrap up Countdown to Final Crisis because we are sick and tired of this damn story.
We're fast forwarding this one.
We are. We're going to jump, I think, 32 issues to the end.
Yikes.
It's going to take just a minute. In our Exploring the Multiverse segment, we've got some Star Wars Rogue One character news out and a finale review of Game of Thrones in our movie and TV news. In the comic rack, Mark Millar will return to a beloved title in January. And we have some exciting reveals about the Marvel Now event.
Yes, that's they've been teasing that for quite a while. So
we're going to get some.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
But they still don't tell you exactly what's going on. But of course, why would they? They want you to buy the book.
It's like they're dating us and they're just sending us these random texts. I love you. Oh, hey, I haven't spoken in 3 days. What's up? I was like with my boys. But Timmy, take it away with some tidbits.
All right. Well, unfortunately, the first one is a very sad one since we haven't done a show since we were at Heroes Con. A lot of stuff has happened. Unfortunately, Anton Yelchin, who played Chekhov on the new Star Trek series of movies, passed away. It was in a really bizarre accident.
It was a car failure, right?
Yeah,
the part in his car failed. It was a Jeep, Chrysler Jeep.
Yeah, from what they're saying, the shift in the car is not a manual. You know how when you grab a hold of your gear shift and you physically put it into a position. This one
is electronic, right?
Yeah, you push it forward to the drive position, then it returns to a center location.
Right.
So it can look like it's in gear when it's not. And I think that's what happened. He thought he put it in park, jumped out to go to get the mail, and it rolled
and crushed
back down
him,
and crushed
right?
him.
Oh man, it's hard.
It's really, really a bizarre freak accident. And for somebody he's 27 years old, really kind of just
At the beginning,
started
his
to
third Star Trek movie where that's about to come out. Right?
Yeah,
So that's going to be an
out,
interesting view, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel a little sad, I think, watching it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when he's on screen, it's like it's the last time we're going to see him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I assume this was the last movie he's done on it. Let's see. Well, they probably wrapped on that a while ago, so he could have done some other stuff.
Or been in production.
Yeah. So
I heard he was going to be in a Crow remake. Oh, too soon?
Too soon.
Sorry, this is the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Hey, it's a roast, folks.
It's
actually did a roast not long ago, and that was a recurring theme. It's like when people would go, "Oh, come on, it's a roast."
Come on, folks, grow up.
But some birthdays we want to recognize. Bruce Campbell, the Chin, is 58 years old. Chris Pratt is 37. David Morrissey is 52. Zoe Saldana is 38, who's also in the Star Trek movies and Guardians of the Galaxy. Alana Masterson is 28. She's Tara on Walking Dead. J.J. Abrams, the king of the lens flare, is 50. Tobey Maguire is 41.
What?
I didn't realize he was that old.
I thought he was younger than me.
Yeah. Wow. That's okay. Dan Jurgens, legendary comic book writer and artist.
Yes.
From Doomsday, Superman, the Death of Superman series, is 57. Joss Whedon is 52. Chandler Riggs, Carl, get in the house because you're 17 now. Carl, get in the house. 17. It's funny. I was thinking about that when I was typing that up. He probably started the show when he was 10.
Probably. How many years has it been on?
I think it's in season. It's getting ready to start season 7. Wow. So yeah, when they started, he was 9-10 years old.
Wow, we're on the math today.
I'm all over it.
Plussing and minusing.
But if you think about somebody like a little bit older than your daughter,
oh man,
starting on a show like that and essentially growing up with.
I'd be afraid of her.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but with the rabid fan base that show has.
Oh man, I'm sure.
Imagine him growing up like that.
He's gonna be like Leif Garrett. He's gonna be saying. He's gonna be on The Voice. He's like, "Hey guys, I'm missing my eye, but I'm about to sing.
I need to get back in."
Yeah. I wrote lyrics to the Walking Dead theme song.
Awesome.
Here we go. Want to hear it? Here go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But another story that came out: a hacker tried to steal Nintendo's new Legend of Zelda
Dude, it looks
Breath
good.
of the Wild game from E3 this past weekend.
At E3, tried to steal
Yes,
it?
he tried to get in and steal it.
Oh wow.
Because they just brought basically that one version.
Like a jump drive. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he tried. I don't think he was successful,
Okay.
but he
Well,
tried.
he tried, it says
he
in the
tried.
story.
Yeah, he got in because that. I mean, and it's not close to being released. So
It looks incredible.
yeah, it does look incredible.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was this guy who's like, okay, here's my chance. Let me see if I can get it.
Why would you just get like the beta? I mean, it's I think they showed maybe 20 minutes of gameplay like
Yeah.
through this first level roughly. I think it was 2 levels. That's all, you know.
To say that you did,
To say
I think
that
that
you
was
did.
it. Yeah. Hey, I got it.
Wow.
Like, I mean, that's kind of the thing with hackers. It's not really necessarily malicious all the time. It's just to say you
Can I
did
do
something.
it? Yeah, can I
Can I
touch
do
the
it?
top of the rim? Yeah,
Yep,
right.
exactly.
This is like Flynn, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And there will be 2 Lucille collectibles
Ooh.
that are making
The
their
bat?
way to the San Diego Comic-Con. Yes, Negan's Lucille. One is a full-size 34-inch bat. I assume it's foam. I would hope. But it looks incredible because it's like a Louisville Slugger. It's got barbed wire on it and red stains on it.
Red
But
stains.
it looks really, really good. And there's also a 4-inch Lucille keychain.
Oh.
Whether they're going to be available outside of San Diego Comic-Con is the real question. Because I would love to have either one of those and keep it in the office.
I'll tell you what, the stick in Southern Bastards, the stick of legends,
yeah.
and Lucille are like the 2 phallic objects competing for my attention and affection right now in comic book world and fantasy world.
That's
Those are crazy.
and they get some of the greatest stuff at San Diego.
But you can make a
Comic-Con.
Lucille for cheaper.
That's
You
true.
just do that. There was a
true.
guy at Heroes Con who was a Negan, and he was amazing. And
Yeah.
I saw Lucille first before I saw him, and then I was like,
Yeah,
whoa,
because he was
looks
walking around
good.
with it up over his shoulder. Yeah.
High in the air.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it'll be interesting if they make them available outside of.
They will.
I'm sure they will. Yeah. Now Jenna Coleman, who is the past companion on Doctor Who, she sent a bouquet of flowers to Pearl Mackie, the new companion on Doctor Who. They just started shooting the next season.
Ah.
So on her first day, Jenna Coleman sent flowers to her, and Mackie tweeted out a picture of the flowers, which I thought that was really cool.
That is cool.
And it was because there was a lot of speculation with the showrunner leaving the show. They had kind of written Jenna Coleman's character out of the show,
Right.
but because this was going to be his last season, a lot of people were thinking she might come back, finish out his run on the show.
This might be her way of getting Pearl Mackie to be like, we should have Jenna Coleman on the show. She's so sweet. She sent me flowers.
It's a little passive aggressive.
Or, she sent me flowers. It was lovely. We should incorporate her in the show.
Yeah. And I think she possibly will because they didn't. I mean, she's not dead. She just kind of left and did her own thing. So it's very possible she could show back up with one of the last shows that this guy's doing.
Totally.
So, but I thought it was really cool that she did that to kind of go, yeah, this is your first day. Enjoy it. So
I heard you have allergies.
Yeah.
B word.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
And news that just came out yesterday: Amy Adams, Dwayne Johnson, Chris Pratt, Ryan Reynolds, and Mark Ruffalo will all get stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this year.
Hello, and so is Ice Cube.
I just took out the ones that were comic book related.
He is comic book related. He is a superhero.
That's true.
Come on.
Hey, I have a lot of respect for Ice Cube. Not his acting ability, but
What?
well, You
right.
you watch
Oh.
Friday and tell me.
Okay.
Now granted he's come a long way, but in every movie he plays Ice Cube.
Wow. Wow. All right.
Now, what was the one he did with Kevin Hart? Ride Along. That was really funny. But again,
You're talking about Ice Cube later, right? I'm talking about like Menace. What was
Menace
it?
to Society.
No. What's the one we do with Cuba Gooding Jr. back in the day?
Oh, I don't.
That was
remember.
like epic, where he was a gangster.
But well, that's what I'm saying. He plays himself.
Yes.
He's always
Yes.
Ice Cube.
Yes, this is correct.
There's no.
Boys in the Hood.
Oh,
But you're not
okay,
going to tell me that was not.
Yeah.
I mean
again,
epic performance. But you're talking about like when he plays his idiot, like he plays idiots, like a buddy cop stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I thought
that doesn't
was,
count.
I thought that was it was really funny. It was like the guy who wrote.
Now he's just paying the bills.
Exactly. The guy who wrote F the Police is now playing a police officer.
No, what's his name wrote F the Police?
No, Cube wrote it.
Really? I thought it was Chuck D.
No.
Oh.
F the Police was on Straight Outta Compton, the first NWA.
Okay, so it's
album.
NWA. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
and that was Ice Cube. He wrote it. So
Well, he believes it
well,
until he became a buddy cop.
better way to F him
than
than
be
be
him.
That's right.
Wow,
Anyway,
wow.
yeah, those comic related character or actors are all getting stars this year on the Walk of Fame.
So is Ice Cube.
And Ice Cube as well.
Thank
yes. And Mark Hamill essentially just freaked everybody out with a casual comment.
What did he say?
You didn't hear about any
I had
of this?
not. Tell me.
He was at a con somewhere, or no, he was interviewing somebody, and he made a casual comment that I'm finishing up episode 8 and then I'm unemployed. So everybody
He's
went
gonna die.
nuts and
Yeah.
thinks he's gonna die. And then he tweeted out, was like, listen, everybody calm down. I meant I'm done with shooting until the next one.
Oh,
Calm down.
come on. There's no trickster work for him.
Well, I'm sure he's got plenty of
Come
stuff
on,
to do.
Berlanti.
It was just like
Give the boy a job.
that's the thing. It was just like an offhanded comment, and everybody latched onto it. Went, oh my God, Luke dies, and went nuts with it.
Oh, he's gonna have to go get power converters.
That's right. It was going by Tossie Station.
Yeah. You can play with your friends later, Luke.
God, he was such a whiny little bastard.
Till he got the scar
right.
in between shooting Empire. Yeah, that's where he became a man.
The Wampa beat his ass.
Yeah.
All right, that's our tidbits. Let's move right into movie and TV news.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's the movie and TV news on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, Time Daily has been cast in Spider-Man Homecoming in an undisclosed part. Again, they're casting a lot of people, but they're not saying who they're playing.
That's causing so much speculation.
Oh, of course. That's gonna happen anyway. Just like we were just talking about with people with Mark Hamill, everything is causing speculation. But while I was writing down that story, I never realized that Tyne Daly was Tim Daly's sister.
Who's Tim Daly?
He was on Wings, and him and his son have both voiced Superman in the animated series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you look
That
him up
guy.
and say, oh, it's that guy. Exactly. But I never realized that they were related.
Cool. This is Tyne Daly.
Yeah, from Cagney and Lacey.
Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy.
See?
Whoa.
See, I'm not the only one.
Incredible.
Yeah. And I love her in anything. She's been the Cagney and Lacey, of course. She was in Judging Amy, was a show that I watched a lot, and I love her in anything. She's
are old.
awesome.
You're old.
Yeah, I admit it.
Did you watch Knots Landing?
Yeah, I did actually.
You're like, I was in Knots
I was
Landing.
in Knots Landing. I lived there.
I played Coughing Boy too.
That'd be awesome. If that was my only credit, that would be awesome. I wouldn't go and get other parts just so I could say that was my credit. Was Coughing Boy number 2, because that means it was obviously 2 different people coughing. I was the second one. But anyway, yeah, I just never realized that they were both that they were siblings.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Bryan Cranston. I
heard
love
this.
I
This
love
is
this
great.
news. Bryan
Rangers.
Cranston has been cast as Zordon in the upcoming Power Rangers movie.
Sweet.
And something that came out when they announced that, the name of the Blue Ranger on the show, Billy Cranston, was named after him.
Like the blue meth.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. Did you just realize that?
I did.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
That's hilarious.
They should have made him Billy Heidelberg, the Blue Ranger. Hey kids.
Say my name.
Hey kids.
Oh man, that's so funny. All right, so that explains a lot about the Power Rangers, right there. That's
Pretty powerful.
They were all on blue meth.
Be like, your Megazord is a Winnebago.
Why are you all in your underwear? Okay, and also we got a huge ton of Rogue One character news.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear it.
Because there was in the trailer we saw a lot of these characters, but they hadn't really told us a lot about them.
Right.
So they released a lot. The biggest one is Forrest Whitaker's character.
Who is he?
He is actually Saul Guerrera.
Huh.
He was on Clone Wars. He was a character that was introduced in Clone Wars. We're on a planet. He was in season 5 of the Clone Wars. He, his sister, and a group of rebel insurgents were on Onderon, which was occupied by separatists. They were trained by clone Captain Rex, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and is it Ashoka? Is that how it's pronounced?
Ashoka, yeah.
Ashoka, Tano. So they came in to train them and help them fight the separatists.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so now obviously he's much older.
Right. That's
now.
why they got Whitaker, right? Older guy.
Yeah. In Rogue One, Guerrera is now a battered veteran who leads a band of rebel extremists. He's on the fringe of the Rebel Alliance, and even they are concerned about him. So it's one of those. He's on our side, but he's a little to the extreme end.
Okay. So they're worried. He's a loose cannon. They're worried about him, but he'll add spice to the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And Forrest Whitaker is
legendary actor.
It's cool.
Ghost dog.
Yeah. And Ben Mendelsohn is not playing a Grand Admiral. That was the big speculation because of his uniform. It looked like a Grand Admiral.
Yeah, the white.
Yeah. He's actually director Orson Krennic. The director title was introduced in 2 of the new canon novels, Tarkin and A New Dawn. And they're typically associated with one particular section of the Empire, like the Imperial Security Bureau, which is the guys who scare the hell out of regular Imperial officers. They're the ones that are just like, oh, boy.
They're like the SS.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. He will be the head of the Death Troopers, the elite special forces unit of the Imperial military unit.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, the black suited troopers that you can see in the trailers.
Awesome. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Cool.
They're like special forces.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Alan Tudyk will be playing the droid. He'll be voicing the droid K2SO. K2 is described as the antithesis of C-3PO and a little like Chewbacca's personality in a droid body.
Awesome. I wonder how many times he'll break or fall apart.
He doesn't fully
punching people.
The big thing is he doesn't fully check himself before he says and does things. It's not like because C-3PO is a protocol droid. Diplomacy is his big thing.
Right.
K2 is the exact opposite.
Just
stream
of consciousness.
Yeah,
probably like R2, but we can understand him.
We can actually understand him. He was originally an Imperial droid, and he hasn't been reprogrammed.
Oh.
So he's kind of looking for redemption. So he almost realizes that he's been doing the wrong things.
Oh, interesting.
So he's making a choice to work with the rebels.
K2SO.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, that could be interesting in of itself right there.
Yeah.
Baze Malbus is played by Zhang Wen, and Donnie Chen's Chirrut, Imwe, came as a pair, although an unlikely one. Baze is an armored soldier that relies on a blaster and does not believe in the Force, but he fiercely protects his friend Chirrut's deep spirituality. Chirrut is not a Jedi, but he is a firm believer in the Force and the values of the Jedi.
Oh.
Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy describes Chirrut as a warrior monk who very much still believes in everything the Jedi were about. He steps up to protect those who can't protect themselves, despite the fact that he's blind. So
that's why that's the guy with the stick who kicks everybody's butt.
In the trailer, we saw him step up to troopers with a stick and start fighting them, and he's blind.
That's awesome. This is Kung Fu. The legend continues.
Essentially, yeah.
Built into this, I love it.
Yeah, this. I mean,
he's like a Jedi cultist almost.
Essentially, and he's got to be force sensitive, or else he wouldn't be able to do that.
Or he's just great at fighting.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, that would help since he's blind. That would help him if he was force sensitive. He would know where they're at and where they're coming from.
Come on, you've never seen what's his name in Blind Fury?
Oh, Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, right. Come on, man. Yeah. He's so great. He was blinded in Vietnam, and then he's like the stick with the sword in it. Remember how it's incredible?
I gotta watch that. I'm on vacation the next 2 weeks, so I'm looking for movies to watch.
Lone Wolf McQuade.
Oh, awesome! I saw that at a drive-through.
Did you really?
Yes.
A drive-through or a drive-in?
Drive-in. Sorry, not a drive-through.
I was like, damn.
Somebody was watching.
I want to eat at this place. Is that a number 2 combo? I'll take Lone Wolf McQuade and a Chuck Norris burger.
And Death Wish 4.
It eats you. Death Wish 4.
That was what was at the drive-in that night. The first one was Lone Wolf McQuade.
Double action feature.
Exactly. Then Bruce Lee's last movie, Game of Death, which it was only like half an hour of it was actual Bruce Lee footage, and the rest of it was another guy that kind of looked like him.
Oh, God.
And then Death Wish 4 was like the last one.
Charles Bronson.
That's when I was there with a friend's family. That's when he realized, we probably should go ahead and leave now. This is not for the kids. So Death Wish 4 was not a family movie.
No, but 5 is, I hear.
Oh, yeah. It's a feel-good hit of the summer. Now, Diego Luna's character is Captain Cassian Andor, the rebel intelligence officer in charge of Jyn Erso's mission to steal the Death Star plans.
Cool.
We see him also in the trailer, kind of almost like he's laughing at Jyn because she's mouthing off to Mothma, and he's just kind of almost smirking because she's being a pain in the butt, basically.
But it's Mon Mothma. You can't get mad at her.
No, he's kind of smirking at Jyn, it seems like.
Oh.
Because she's mouthing off to Mothma.
The leader, yep.
Yeah. Now, Mad Mikkelsen, that's the guy who's playing Hannibal Lecter on TV, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I don't watch the show. Let me look here real quick.
If it is, it's just a really creepy looking dude. Mad Mikkelsen is playing Jin's father, Galen Erso, who is a scientist who is being recruited by both the Empire and the Rebellion, but he hasn't been part of Jin's life for around a decade.
It is the same guy.
Yeah, that's a creepy looking dude.
Oh, he is very creepy. He looks like he's in like an emo band that hasn't stopped touring.
Yeah. And Riz Ahmed is Bodhi Rook. The character is Bodhi Rook. Okay, that's a little confusing there.
Yeah, right. It's like
I didn't know either.
Both of those are Star Wars names.
Exactly. Yeah. Bodhi Rook, the lead pilot in this band of rebels, who tends to be a little tense, a little volatile, but everybody in his group relies on his technical skills. And they have confirmed Darth Vader will be in the movie, and James Earl Jones will be voicing him.
That's awesome.
Any other thing would be ridiculous.
Wow.
If he's going to be in the movie and it's not James Earl Jones, it will be pooped upon immediately.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Was it David Prowse who played him? Who wore the suit?
Yeah.
Is he still alive, or is he going to?
I think he's of advanced age, because James Earl Jones can still do voice work with no problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, he may be a little too old to
be Vader, especially if they're going to be a younger Vader fighting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm sure that'll be. They'll come with a different person too.
Did you hear the story about how Hayden Christensen in an interview said, "I would love to be in Star Wars again. Any moment, call me." There's been nothing since then.
Crickets is all you hear back. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Oh man, unless they put him in the suit, that would be great.
Well, he did insist. That was one thing that he fought for, is to be the one in the suit when they suited him up at the end. Yeah, he was a crappy actor, but in that spot, I would do the same thing. I was like, no, I want the suit. I want the suit.
That's
I want
pretty-
to be the person in the suit, and I want to take it home.
That's pretty legendary. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just walking out of here with it, and don't try to stop me. I'll force choke you. So now Marvel has released the synopsis for Doctor Strange. Marvel's Doctor Strange follows the story of the talented neurosurgeon Dr. Stephen Strange, who, after a tragic car accident, must put ego aside and learn the secrets of a hidden world of mysticism and alternate dimensions. Based in New York City's Greenwich Village, Doctor Strange must act as an intermediary between the real world and what lies beyond, utilizing a vast array of metaphysical abilities and artifacts to protect the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Cool.
So they're already spreading the net wide that he's protecting the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I bet he'll say like, "Oh yeah, the reason you lived during the Battle of New York was because I put this spell on you, or whatever, or stop that
Could
bullet."
very possibly, yeah.
There'll be some moments where they show him
Being
around
involved,
the fray.
yeah.
And
Being involved in stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, and, dude, I just thought they could use him to close plot holes that people have pointed out.
Totally.
Like the Shatari. Why did they all stop, just like immediately die when they blew up the mothership? They're not droids. There's no reason they should.
Right.
It's not like they're getting power from the mothership.
Well, it's War of the Worlds style.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why they did that.
Yeah, it's a.
But he'll be able to. Yeah, he'll be able to have said,
you know what? Yeah,
I
I just went. All right, we're done. Yeah.
Like, why didn't you help with the thing? Well, you had it.
Hey, you had it.
You had it.
You guys were in control. I just figured I'd throw in a little bit there. So yeah, I mean, they could definitely use that to fill up holes like that.
Oh man.
Because yeah, he is really one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, he's the protector of Earth, right?
Yeah, this entire realm essentially.
Yeah.
So, because yeah, he protects our realm from other dimensions. So yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I thought the Beastie Boys did that.
Well, they need some help occasionally.
Well, they're down a player, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And DC recently had a visit to the set of Justice League for a group of reporters. They're doing, I mean, this movie is a year and a half before it comes out, but they're doing a lot of work now
to get it
to
ready.
make people understand that this is different than Batman versus Superman.
Oh. And Super Friends.
And the Super Friends. Yes.
Meanwhile.
They're inviting this group of reporters, and a lot of these reporters were the ones that really
Ragged on
Batman versus Superman. DC seems to be listening to the fans and is making a lot of positive changes. It's confirmed that Steppenwolf is the villain for Justice League.
Cool.
So I think they're going to need to do a little work to make sure people know who that is.
They'll have to work him back into comics.
Yeah, probably.
Has there been any Darkseid stuff in the new Rebirth universe yet?
No, okay. I don't think so. He was part of Earth 2. He was the villain for Earth 2 for a while.
Okay.
Steppenwolf, not Darkseid.
Oh, Steppenwolf. Okay.
Yes. But yeah, I think they need to.
New 52. The
I don't
Rebirth.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And Steppenwolf is Darkseid's uncle.
Mm-hmm.
Batman will build tech for the other Justice League members. A Wayne Tech logo can be seen on Flash's uniform.
Nice.
So he helped him with that. And there was, I think they said 43 different parts to Flash's uniform.
To physically put him apart? Or
Yeah,
to put him together?
Put it on, yeah.
Whoa.
It was, yeah. His uniform came in 43 different. And I don't know if that was Ezra Miller saying that his costume did that, or whether that's supposed to be the Flash. He just basically throws 43 pieces of uniform in the air, and with the super speed, he can put it all together.
Yeah.
So I don't know which that came from.
Okay.
So now I've lost my place. Willem Dafoe will play Volko, an Atlantean politician and longtime advisor to Aquaman.
You heard of him before? Volko?
Vaguely.
From comics? Okay.
Yeah, he's just he's a side character in Atlantis.
Okay.
So, but I'm sure, I mean, it's Willem Dafoe, so they'll
Yeah, he was.
They'll work it
He
into,
was the Green Goblin.
yeah, they'll work him into something a little bigger. Because I mean, you don't cast somebody like that for just a bit part that's going to come up and go, "Sire, we need to do this." I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be a little larger part. Batman will have more than one suit, and Ben Affleck confirmed that he is directing and starring in a Batman movie and is working on the script with Jeff Johns.
Perfect.
Yeah,
It'll be
exactly.
good then.
Yeah,
It'll be good.
Big deal. They said that this movie would be much brighter in tone and much more inclusive for younger viewers than the dark tone of Batman vs. Superman. And the logo and synopsis were released. The synopsis, fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists the help of his newfound ally, Diana Prince, to face an even greater enemy. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman work quickly to find and recruit a team of metahumans to stand against this newly awakened threat. But despite the formation of this unprecedented league of heroes, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash, it may already be too late to save the planet from an assault of catastrophic proportions.
So the Batman movie will kick off the Justice League movie, it sounds like. Or is that the synopsis?
No,
that's the synopsis
the
for
synopsis
Batman?
for Justice League.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I
Yes.
thought you said that this was for Batman.
No. It was just different stuff we learned, and I put them all in a row. And that
Sorry.
Was, yeah. No, that was that is
For the
synopsis
Justice League
for
movie.
Justice
Because
League.
that's what
Yeah.
it sounds like. I was like,
Exactly.
well, then Justice League is going to be even better.
Yeah. No, I think actually they think the Batman movie is going to be like a prequel.
Oh.
It's going to be a little. It may tell the story of what happened to that Robin, and we don't know for sure whether it's Jason Todd or not.
Okay.
But so because that really would, because this Batman in Batman versus Superman and Justice League, he's got restored faith in humanity now, but he's still older and he's at the end of his career.
Yeah, and he's jaded.
Yeah. So making the Batman movie a prequel would be better. It frees up a lot of storytelling, basically. And Ben Affleck is still young enough. He could do that.
Oh, yeah. He'll look great.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but that is our movie news. Now moving into TV, Game of Thrones. They've done their finale, right?
They have, yeah, because we were off last week. We missed the previous week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But we had two incredible episodes. The previous week was called The Battle of the Bastards. And this one was actually directed by Miguel Sapochnik, who has a different flavor than the normal writers and head writers of the show, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who normally direct the show. The reason is epic battle scene, probably the most epic battle scene on television.
Yeah, that's what I had heard, that it was probably the biggest battle on TV.
I mean, it. I guess how do we say this? I mean, it earned.
It's a bunch of bastards.
A bunch of bastards. It cost, I think, $3 million that episode. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was.
Holy crap!
Pretty much. I mean, that's the most I've ever heard of in one episode. I mean, it's paid TV, granted, but.
Yeah, still. Yeah, that's.
But quick recap of that, and then we'll talk about the finale, which was huge. Lots of deaths, lots of changes. So in the Battle of the Bastards, now Daenerys meets with she's back, right, in Marine with her dragons and the entire Dothraki army. And she meets with the slave masters to negotiate their terms of surrender because they're attacking Marine with the ships. But they refuse it. She then rides her dragon as she pretty much just burns their fleet. She says, like, your rule is the slavers say your rule is over, and she goes, no, yours is. And then jumps on the dragons and then burns their fleet, and then they get killed. It was amazing.
When you got dragons, you can do that.
That's right. Yeah. And then Grey Worm, her sort of assistant, kills two of the masters.
Sir Friendzone.
Sir Friendzone. That's right. Leaving one to tell what he had witnessed. Then after that battle, Theon Greyjoy and Yara Greyjoy arrive in Marine, and they agree to an alliance.
So Marine is like right to the end of.
So this is Westeros here.
Yeah.
And this is Essos here. Marine is in the very bottom, like on this. Like they had to sail from the Iron Islands all the way around to here, to this little area. And then there's the Shivering Sea, and the Dothraki are all up here. Bravos is up here. Anyway, so they come at the right time. So now there's all this new alliance. So they meet with Daenerys and Tyrion, and they basically work it out. It's a pretty funny scene, actually, because she's like, well, wait a minute. you're the heir to Theon. Why is your sister taking over as queen? And he's like, well, I'm not fit to rule. She is. And she's like, what? Like, she doesn't trust it at first. But the sister's really, really bold, really tough, and they get along very well. So now we're up by Winterfell. And this is going to be where the Battle of the Bastards happen. This is Jon Snow and Ramsay Bolton, formerly Ramsay Snow.
Yeah.
So the Stark and Bolton armies meet on the field. Now the Boltons hold Winterfell, and they have 4.5 times the men and archers.
Yeah.
I mean, it spells disaster.
Yeah.
Now Ramsay's a real jerk, and
There's a shock.
yeah, and he frees the younger Stark, Rickon Stark, who's the current heir to Winterfell.
Mm-hmm.
But then as he's walking across the battlefield, Ramsay's shooting arrows. Now Ramsay's like a master archer, so he's purposely missing. And Jon jumps on a horse and runs out because Ramsay knows that that's how we'll kill Jon. He said, I'll have the whole archery people just rain on him with arrows.
Yeah,
it's an incredible scene. But as Jon gets there, the arrow just kills him, and it's like Jon's like, no, and then he sends in the cavalry, and Jon's standing there by himself.
Yikes.
Oh my God, it's incredible. So the Stark forces are ultimately then pinned down by the Bolton soldiers, but just in the last hour, just like in Lord of the Rings, look to the mountain, right, and I will be there at first light. The Knights of the Vale, who's the cousin of the Starks, the little boy, who had the moon door. They push people through the moon door.
Yeah.
Sansa worked that out with Littlefinger to have the Knights of the Vale come and be a cavalry, basically. And they mow down the Boltons, just crush them. Because they're all fighting. They're doing phalanx style, like, and pushing spears, just killing people. In fact, Jon is underneath a bunch of dead bodies, and he almost can't breathe. It's one of the toughest scenes to see.
Yikes.
Now Ramsay flees after they've been devastated. He's like, uh-oh. And he goes inside of Winterfell, and he's like, yeah, try and take the castle. They basically won the giant from the north, the wildling. He's this huge giant. He kicks the door open.
Nice.
They can't stop him. And he takes arrows. He's just like walking. He's about to go kill Ramsay. And basically like all the guys come in behind 1-1. Jon has a shield. Ramsay's firing arrows, and he kills 1-1. He puts an arrow right through his eye. And just as like Ramsay keeps boom, 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 like hitting him with arrows. Jon has a wooden shield. That's all he has. He finally gets up to Ramsay, and he knocks him out, and he beats the shit out of him. I mean, within an inch of his life.
Yeah.
And then just as he's about to do the last hit, he looks over, and there's Sansa, and she gives him a look like, I want to kill him. And Jon gets up.
You let your sister.
And one of the most incredible scenes I've ever seen. They have Ramsay at night in Winterfell, locked up in a room, and he's sitting there. He's completely bloody and like woozy. Sansa walks in and says, like, you know, you basically are gonna die. Your name is gone. You're gone. Like all because you're just a giant right? Yeah. And then she lets his dogs in.
Oh.
And he uses his dogs to kill people.
Yeah.
And like mutilate them. And he goes, you're crazy. My beasts are loyal. And she's like, well, you said it yourself. They haven't been fed in 7 days. Now they're starving. And she leaves, and the dogs just go and eat him. And you're like, oh my God.
Yikes. So
he dies, and it's incredible. So they leave the big cliffhanger for The Winds of Winter, which is the final episode. Mm-hmm. And okay, so this was incredible. We start off with the trial of Cersei Lannister for redemption, and then also Tyrell, the young Tyrell, who was accused of being gay by the Faith militant.
And he's the king now, correct?
Which one?
Tyrell?
No. It's Tommen Lannister.
Tommen.
Or
Okay.
Baratheon. Yeah, is married to Marjorie Baratheon.
Okay.
But she was a Tyrell.
And yeah, she
that
was
family,
Okay, yeah.
which is like a southwest Westeros
she
family.
had just married Joffrey
and
when
he was
died.
killed.
Yeah.
And then the brother, the next in line, gets his wife.
Okay.
So, but then they were brought up on charges by Cersei. Yeah, Cersei did this, but then she got entangled. Okay, so here's the deal. She pretty much gets everybody into that room, all her enemies, into that temple, the main big temple, and then she has the pyromancer set the whole bottom of the building up with wildfire, and then ignites it.
Yikes.
And it blows up, a big green explosion. It's
Chick is
huge.
hardcore, man.
And she's just standing there watching. And so is Tommen. Tommen was not allowed to go.
Yeah.
So Gregor said, no, you're going to stay here. Well, in his zombie way. So that was incredible. And it was like, oh my God. But then Tommen is horrified. He jumps off a balcony and kills himself.
Oh, wow.
So she becomes queen.
Yikes.
Yeah, she didn't want that. She wanted to
Yeah.
have him be the king still, but
Yeah, she wants to be the puppet master.
totally.
Yeah.
He'll remarry, it'll move on, everybody's dead. No problem.
Yeah.
But now we're in Dorne, which is on the very south of things. And Varys, who's the whisperer, right, the great secret teller,
Oh, yeah.
meets with Olenna Tyrell and Ilaria Sand, who is now the queen of Dorne because she killed the prince. Yeah.
Nice.
And she wants to form an alliance between Daenerys and their houses against the Lannisters. So now Varys is there working the south, getting Dorne and Dorne's armies. They're all warriors in Dorne
Yeah.
to join up with the coming navy.
Yeah.
And you'll see they mount ships, the Iron Island people. They take Daenerys and them across the ocean. It's an incredible final scene that should have had the Titanic music. A really rough scene. Davos confronts Melisandre, the Red Witch, over the death of the daughter of Stannis Baratheon, and then Jon banishes her from Winterfell, but doesn't kill her.
Because they sacrificed the daughter, right?
They burned her at the stake,
yeah.
thinking that's why they were losing.
Yeah. Very twisted.
Totally. Following their victory, the Wildlings, the Knights of the Vale, and the surviving houses of the North pledge loyalty to Jon Snow as the new king of the North.
Wow.
Yeah, they have this big thing, and they
Holy
proclaim
crap.
him.
Yeah.
And then Sansa learns of Littlefinger's plan for her as the new lady of Winterfell. He wants her to be in charge of Winterfell, and he wants to sit on the Iron Throne. He literally tells her this. But then she's like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then Jon is declared king of the North. So following a banquet now with Jaime, Walder Frey, it's horrible, is murdered by the newly returned Arya Stark.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's like a helper, a servant, and she's serving him these meat pies, and he's like, these are delicious. Where are my sons? She put the sons in the meat pie and made him eat it for about an hour.
Oh, God.
And then she slits his throat and just holds him there as he dies and says, my name is Arya Stark, and I want you to know who's killing you right now. And then Sam and Gilly reach the Citadel in Old Town. So the Citadel in Old Town is where the great knowledge is, the great library.
Oh,
and he's about to become a maester.
Oh, nice.
So he's off the Night's Watch,
Yeah.
Sam, and he's going to become a maester, which is like, a brilliant person. And now Bran sees a vision from inside what's called the Tower of Joy. Now the Tower of Joy is where kings used to take and like murder or rape and murder women that they wanted.
Yikes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of history there we're going to find out. So this is a scene from the past. Ned finds his dying sister, Lyanna, and she was going to be married to Robert Baratheon, who was going to be, it would have been a greater alliance, who then takes her newborn son as his bastard, Jon Snow. So we see the birth of Jon Snow.
Oh, okay.
But she's dying at that moment. So she dies
Yeah.
after giving birth to Jon. And then now Jaime returns to King's Landing to find everything in ruins.
The whole thing has happened.
Exactly. And then Qyburn, who I believe is the pyromancer, he's sort of an evil kind of guy, crowning Cersei as the new queen of Westeros.
Yikes.
And then at the end, as we said, we see the big Titanic moment. Daenerys sets sail to Westeros with her companions, armies, and dragons.
It's about time.
And that is where we end it. So speculation is that Jon Snow is a Targaryen and not necessarily a Baratheon.
They actually released an infographic that confirmed it.
Yeah, that connection.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, but Jon Snow is now Daenerys's half brother.
That would be true.
Yeah,
because she's the daughter of the king.
Yeah,
not Rhaegar Targaryen. I forget the Targaryen. I forget his name. The Mad King, essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, they would be brother and sister.
Yeah.
But then he would technically be heir to the throne.
Yeah.
If she's however that all goes.
Yeah.
Because if you seize power back after you've been usurped, I believe it's still the same lineage.
Should
but
be, yeah.
Who knows? She has Tyrion Lannister now. She has Varys at her disposal.
And a big ass army.
Big ass army.
Yeah.
I mean, she has the Unsullied, right?
Yeah.
Who are from Karth.
And they're all,
loyal.
Sworn to death to her.
Well, she freed them, and then now she has ultimate
So
power of dragons.
They're going to do anything she says. I mean, especially the Unsullied.
She freed them.
Yeah.
I mean, they owe her their lives to them twice because the slavers were about to get 7 more years of slavery out of.
So they'll
everything.
gladly give up their life for her.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
They renamed Slavers Bay to Dragon's Bay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the one thing that's the humdinger that's hanging out there before we move on is the brother of the fallen king of the Iron Islands.
Mm-hmm.
He usurped the throne in an election, which wasn't really an election, and then that's why Tyrion and Ara they fled.
Okay.
Yara they fled in the whole fleet of the Iron Islands, the Ironborn fleet, and then he says, "Cut down every tree. We're going to build a navy, and we're going to go get them." So he may have gotten that navy built, and then they may be coming around, and there may be a naval battle between Daenerys and her crew and then the Iron Islands. But here's the deal. What? They're going to shoot a few ships down the Iron Island, the Ironborn, and then the dragons will just burn the boats.
You're in a wooden sailing vessel. Dragons who breathe fire.
Let me show you something.
Yeah, they're going to, that'll take care of it real quick.
So I will shut up now because Game of Thrones is over, and I will enter my depression.
Yes, here's your show hole.
Enter.
Well, from news from Netflix, they will be remaking Lost in Space.
Awesome.
They have ordered a 10-episode run, which will probably premiere in 2018.
Perfect.
So no word on casting or anything, or anybody who's going to be working on the show. But they actually had a pretty fierce. There was a pretty fierce battle going on to get the rights to Lost in Space.
From CBS?
I'm not sure. I don't know if they were just kind of up for grabs.
Okay.
But they were saying that Netflix had to fight pretty hard to get it.
Well, everybody's vying now for good shows. I mean, that's a very fierce market. Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be coming 2018 from
Sweet.
Netflix. And Lucifer has added Tricia Helfer to the cast for season 2 as the devil's mother and God's ex-wife.
I'll tell you what, I watched the pilot. Mm-hmm. This show is incredible.
It's really good. Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, I've got. They should. I think all of them should be on my DVR. I watched the first 2 or 3. And it was really, really good.
I watched this on the plane when I was going to Germany, and I was just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. God's ex-wife and Lucifer's mother was trapped in hell for thousands of years by God and is now free on Earth. She hates humanity and now is stuck in a human body for her stay on Earth. And Lucifer is desperate to find out what Mom's up to. So I think, that is an awesome addition to the show.
Yeah.
And speaking of additions to the show, Chad Coleman, Tyrese on The Walking Dead,
rest in peace,
has been cast as Tobias Church for season 5 of Arrow.
Huh.
Church is an imposing gangster looking to unite the various criminal enterprises in Star City under his own singular command. So basically, he wants to take over the underworld, basically.
Cool.
Also, Madison McLaughlin will be returning as Evelyn Sharp, which you called Slack Canary. She was the one that imitated Black Canary after she died. And as she transitions into the character Artemis from Young Justice.
Oh.
So she's going to actually be
a good guy.
A good guy.
Cool.
And like a protege of Ollie. And production art also shows a Black Canary memorial, which makes sense. When he told the world who she was and what she had done, it would make sense that they would have a memorial to her.
Cool.
And Carly Pope has been cast as Susan Williams, who is a journalist from Coast City.
Oh.
In the comics,
Hal Jordan.
She is the significant other of Jim Jordan.
Who's that?
Hal Jordan's younger brother.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah.
And Curtis will be more like Cisco in season 5. So essentially, you can think Felicity is software. Curtis is hardware. He's the one that makes the gadgets.
Right. Mr. Terrific.
Yep. And Tyler Ritter, the son of John Ritter, is joining the show as a new detective with the SCPD.
Commander.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Albert Einstein will be a character on season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow.
Can you believe it?
But he's going to be basically kind of a pain in the butt.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he's like he's condescending, kind of like Martin Stein was when you first met him. He's condescending and a womanizer. Martin Stein wasn't, but apparently Albert Einstein was
a player.
Yeah, he was a player. Yeah.
Ooh.
So
wait, wasn't from Australia and he didn't invent beer bubbles?
Oh, never.
You just remembered that, didn't you?
Never referenced young Einstein ever again.
Yahoo Serious had an epic career, Timmy.
That was
How
so
dare
bad.
you? That man worked hard.
That was so bad.
Son, you've done it. You've invented bubbles.
And Maisie Richardson Sellers will play the new, old, younger, older, maybe, we're not quite sure, Vixen.
Oh.
That the character's name will be Amaya Jiwi. So it's not the same character.
Oh.
And I'm a little confused. In different places, it says different things.
What?
She may be either the grandmother or the granddaughter of the one we've seen already, the Vixen we've seen on Arrow and the animated show.
It could be a mantle passing type of thing.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And like I said, it's either she's the character that we've already seen, which is named Mari McCabe.
Right.
This new character, and Legends could be either one easily. It's either her grandmother or her granddaughter.
And she could be young. I mean, and still be a grandmother.
Yeah, she's much younger. The actress is young.
Cool.
So
wow, so many new additions to the cast.
Yeah. And Grant Gustin tweeted out the title of the season 3 premiere of The Flash will be Flashpoint.
Perfect.
So that confirms all of our questions.
Sweetness.
From the cliffhanger. And Jesse Quick will be returning for season 3. How that's going to happen when she went back to Earth 2, I don't know, but
yeah.
Netflix and the CW are close to a deal that will speed up the availability of the CW scripted series, such as The Flash, Arrow, on Netflix. Under the new deal, the shows would become available on Netflix just 2 weeks after each season ends on the CW.
Whoa, that's better than Hulu.
Yeah, they had a deal. They had a deal with Hulu that started in 2011. That's coming to an end, and they haven't been able to reach a new deal. So Netflix was able to swoop in and negotiate this deal.
But we got to wait till the season ends.
Yes.
Which, that stinks.
Yeah.
I used to like Hulu would give me that stuff on demand.
Well, you can watch it on the
CW app.
The CW app, yeah.
Shazam.
Yeah, there you go. And Gotham has recast Maggie Jiha as an adult Ivy Pepper. The age jump follows an encounter with a monster from Indian Hill, which finds her reborn, and the character is closer to the DC villain she is destined to become, Poison Ivy. They've also added Jamie Chung as Valerie Vale, a crackerjack reporter dead set on uncovering the truth behind Indian Hill. Of course, the Vale name is well known to the Batman myth.
Vale,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. According to the sources, Valerie will be Vicky's aunt.
Oh, God.
So,
okay.
So a little more connections there, and a little more people being introduced that are straight from the Batman mythos.
But it's doing everything you say that you hate. It's making all the villains come out, and they're all just going to be old.
Yeah, they're going to be way older than Batman when he finally shows up.
I can't wait to meet Bane.
Yeah.
and 2-year-old Harley Quinn.
Yeah. So, but that's our movie and TV news. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to take a spin of the comic rack.
Our hailing frequencies are always open. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search Ninja Troll Digicast or drop us an email at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com.
Hi, I'm Louis Black, and I'm a big supporter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and its mission to cure CF. People ask me, Louis, what's your personal connection to CF anyway? Well, I don't have one. I'm just passionate about finding a cure. The CF Foundation has made amazing progress. People are living longer, healthier lives today because of innovative new treatments made possible through the foundation. But that's not enough. We need a cure, and we need it yesterday. The progress we have made is a direct result of the dedication and donations of folks like you and me. There's still more that needs to be done. Oh, no. I knew it. He wants our money. Well, yeah. I feel like an idiot for asking, but aren't you just going to throw some of it away each week on something stupid? So why not throw some of it our way? You'll feel better about yourself, and I won't have to come to your home and yell at you. Support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and help make CF stand for Cure Found.
I'm Cully Hamner, artist of Question and Red, and you're listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast, and we got to talk about the epic Hero Con that we just finished up.
So much fun.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weekends ago.
Right.
We had such a great time. It was so awesome. We did, obviously, the last show we did was there live on Sunday.
That was great.
Which Sunday is a fun day because everybody's kind of laid back. It's like it's the last day. The really frantic day is Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Saturday
when it's a
bear.
huge day. There's so many people there. And a lot of these people, the only day they're coming is Saturday. So it's like, we got to get in, we got to find what we want. and so there's a frantic energy going on there on Saturday.
And you learn so much about how the crowds move and stuff and how they act. And I thought going into it, because it's a business, it's a business type of thing too. You're trying to make some money, trying to also get your name out there and stuff. How people, when they walk by, what they do and how they walk away and what stays with them. So I learned a lot. Like I think going into next Heroes Con as an artist, but also doing the podcast, doing the Digicast, how we do that, how we sort of get things to stick on people.
Yeah.
Not literally, because you were sticking stickers on people.
Hey, if you stand still long, I'm going to put a sticker on you.
Yeah. But it was a really awesome time. I think I mentioned on the show, the highlight for me, most of all,
DMC.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was cool. But I think was getting on stage and sort of like having the fear in my heart, like, wow, I'm about to draw in front of people.
Yeah.
Really, like, I mean, I do that, but like I can focus and, it's whatever. But then as I'm up there, who else is up there?
Yeah.
Brian Stelfreeze, Chris Visions. I'm right in between them.
Crazy.
Yeah. Jared Cullum, who did the epic painting. His painting sold for $7,000. Yeah. And then also Bridget Connell was a really good friend of mine, who we did that the CW opening show with Wilson's World, and Just Jess. And that was such a cool time. Like I was so scared, and then it turned into joy because everybody was really friendly, really down. Everybody was walking over, checking out what I was doing. Brian Stelfreeze was like, "Hey man, I heard you needed a toothbrush to do some splattering. I found you one." I'm like,
cool.
I looked at him. I was like, "Dude, you're Brian Stelfreeze." He was like, "And this is a toothbrush."
That's good stuff.
What about you, Timmy? What was sort of your big now 2 weeks after?
It was so awesome to be there. And I mean, last year was the first time I had been back in probably
how many years?
Close to 20 years.
Wow.
So it was, and it's a different animal now than it used to be.
Right. You said that. Right. Things have really morphed.
Yeah, they really have. And it's so great. This year was so much fun, and I think the biggest thing was my daughter Emma was with me.
Oh, you guys were hams.
And we were having such a good time. She was like literally bouncing up and down at times. She was so excited and so happy.
This is our time, man. This is like our revival, tent revival. It's really awesome.
This is like the time that everybody's together, everybody's into the same stuff, and you see. The cosplays now are so great. The Doctor Strange with the Watcher. I don't know how that dude could see.
That Watcher's head was
the Watcher's
huge.
head was ginormous. I don't know how he got it in
how
the
do you
door.
even make that?
Yeah, but the creativity that it took to make those things, and watching Emma, she's got a list of like close to 10 cosplays she wants to do. So she's like getting stuff together. Oh, I could do this and I could do this and all this different stuff. She's so into it and she's so excited about it. It's something for us to share. And she's 14, so she's almost, I felt like almost to the point to where she's not going to have much use for dad anymore. When dad's stupid. I don't
think you'll ever be stupid, Tim. You raised her right, man. You guys are right on point. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gotten into comics, and it's something that we share. The love for comics is something we share, and it's just so much fun. That was the high point for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But we got some cons coming up that we're going to be at.
Yeah,
right?
we had actually, before we move on for that, I want to mention comicbook.com. One of the contributors there had an incredible write-up on Heroes Con. Essentially, his opening paragraph was, with all the cons going on around the country, there's plenty of competition. for like the best one. Quite frankly, the competition is for the silver medal because Heroes Con is above and beyond.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, that's exactly
That was what he said?
Yes.
I saw we posted it on the Ninja Troll page.
Yes,
I hadn't
yeah.
read that's an incredible statement.
You should definitely go and read this write-up. This guy is glowing about, and he brings in, it's the point that I hadn't really realized that really sets Heroes Con apart, because San Diego Comic-Con has these huge announcements and they've got all this cool stuff going on and stuff. Heroes Con is the connection between the artist, writer, or the creators, the term, and the fans.
It's
you
true.
have the legendary guys. Steranko, Bill Sienkiewicz was there. Neil Adams, they were all there.
Oh man!
And you're able to go up and talk to them. It's not a huge Hall H where you're sitting in there with 400 other sweaty people watching the trailer for a new movie that's coming out. You're standing there and you're talking to the person who has created this stuff that you're passionate about.
Oh, man,
and it's the connection between those people that Heroes Con hangs its hat on.
See, it's like that's such an interesting statement. I mean, because this guy's obviously seen, he or she, I'm not sure, all the cons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been to New York Comic Con,
Yep.
and that's really it. And Heroes and things in the area.
Yeah.
So to me, Heroes is great for here. And then I went to New York Comic Con in '92.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? When it was like you said, a completely different animal.
Completely different thing. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, we talk about Heroes Con and we love it because we're here. And it's something that's going on for us right in our backyard, and it's great. But to see a national or international website that covers comics take something that we have right here in our backyard and put it over like that is huge for me. It was almost like I was reading something that was written about like a family member, and you're so proud of them because it's just something that
Fourth place in the science fair.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was just a really cool thing to read, and it's not if we write an article about how cool Heroes Con is, you say, okay, yeah, but it's with a grain of salt because we're biased because we're right here at it. This guy has no reason to be biased for Heroes Con, and he's saying it's the best one in the country.
It's easier to be cynical. So
yeah,
wow, that's really cool.
So it was a huge deal. So
all right, that was worth interrupting me. Go ahead.
Thank you. But coming up in 2 weeks on July 16th will be the Shelby Comic Con. I'll have a table there. You're not going to be able to make it. Is that right?
I won't. Nope.
Okay. I will have a table there with Kapow Comic Art, but also the Ninja Troll Digicast will be a sponsor for the show. So when you come in the door and they give you the swag bag, there's going to be some Ninja Troll swag in there.
Ooh.
So everybody will get the free stuff.
Well, Timmy, I will say I'm going to be there partially because what I've been working on that I'm getting ready is I'm working on a limited edition Nico Jack Kirby print, Ninja Troll print that I will sign and you will sign.
That is awesome.
And I think we got to figure out how to make that something special.
That is cool.
That'll be ready at Shelby.
I'm thinking also about doing this is something that my friend Chuck, who used to be on the Ninja Troll with us, he came up with this game for Emma to do. He gave her a scavenger hunt.
That's right.
He sent her out looking for different cosplays. He gave her at the beginning of every day, he gave her a list of, I want you to look for this, this, and this. I think we should do that there at the table and give it out to kids and go, okay, go look for this stuff. We're not going to make it too hard. Chuck made it pretty difficult on Emma.
I know. Chuck was
but you make it not quite as difficult. Give it to kids. They find these people. They come back and check them off. We give them some kind of prize. I think that's
fabulous.
Yeah, it's cool. It gives the kids something specifically to do there, because a lot of the kids are there. They want to dress up like the heroes, and
they don't have money to buy stuff because their parents are at their women, their parents and stuff, and then that's something for them to do, and that's cool.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Cool.
So we may be doing that at the Shelby Con. No, we will be doing it at Shelby Comic Cons.
But our other big con of the summer, right towards the end, is going to be where? Tell us.
Charlotte Comic Con, August 7th. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, Sunday, August 7th. It's a Sunday show.
It's 8th, August 8th.
Is it?
I think so.
Let's look and see.
Yes, and be.
No, it's the 7th.
It is, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different because most one-day cons are on a Saturday. This is on a Sunday.
Right.
So it's a little different, but it's a great show. It's in a new location up in Concord now. It's the Concord it's called the Concord Convention Center, but
it's a hotel.
It's a hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if it's a Hilton. I don't remember now.
Or Hyatt? Is it a Hyatt?
Maybe.
I
don't know. I have to look it up.
Well, Concord Convention Center is the search term.
Yeah, it's right. It's right there in between Carolina Place, or not Carolina Place, not Concord Mills. Thank you, and the Speedway.
Cool.
It's in between there. So, but yeah, it's a great show. Really well put together one day show. Really big artist alley. Aisles. It's not nearly as crowded. They just moved to this new location, and before they moved, Artist Alley could get pretty clogged up.
I was sharing tables.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of room in the aisle.
Nope.
Now they fixed that, so there's plenty of room for people to stand and look at your table and your stuff, and people still be able to walk by around.
Right.
So there's a lot more room, and it's a lot better now up there. They got more room, and anytime you have a long-standing con like that has had to move several times to bigger locations, it's awesome.
Right.
It's very good sign. So they've I think the first one I went to was in 2012.
Okay.
And it was in a hotel there close to Uptown. Which on 3rd Street.
Oh, was it? It was in a different location then.
Yeah. I've got pictures of Emma there with the funny thing is I was looking at these pictures the other day. I have pictures of her with a couple of stormtroopers. And I was like, I bet you I know those people.
Yeah, right. Now we've been
if I could tell who was under the helmet there, I'd probably know them. So but yeah, it was the hotel right there on 3rd Avenue, right as you come off of 277.
Oh, that's the used to be the Adams Mark Hotel.
Yes.
And now it's something. They redid
something
it.
else. Yeah. But it was there, and then they moved down to the one that's right off 77 on Tyvola.
Right.
And now they've moved to a larger one again. So
that's great.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's really good. And it's a good show, and they do it a couple of times a year.
Yeah.
But something to say that's a little sad, but I think we can help him out.
Oh yeah.
Dave of Rick and Dave's the duo that puts on Charlotte Comic Con, Dave's Comics down in Fort Mill.
Yep.
The first comic shop I saw when I moved to Carolina.
Oh wow.
Is closing, and
he's got some pretty sweet deals if you want to slide by there.
Let's see. So 50 cents. Most of all comics will be 50 cents until they're gone. Trades hardcover will be half off. Too many good deals to turn down. And this is Dave's Comics right in Fort Mill, 206 Main Street in Fort Mill.
And he's doing the single issues are 50 cents a piece, most of them. But he's doing long boxes for like 100, I think.
Oh my God.
So that's going to be like a grab bag kind of. That's like one of those
super sweet. He just wants to. I guess he's done.
Yeah, he's done, and he's wanting to get stuff out of there, and he's still going to do the con circuit. He's still going to do
good
Charlotte Comic Con. He's just it's time to close the store up.
Look, man,
and there's another one that's he said we're not going to leave Fort Mill without a comic book store. There's another one that's opening not far from there.
Oh, cool.
So yeah. So the big sale I think he's doing Friday and Saturday of this week. So,
I think so. He's been saying these deals are going to go on until the end.
Listen, I need to go to South Carolina to get fireworks anyway, so I might swing by Dave's Comics.
Right on the way. Yep.
Yep.
Just go down. What is it? 160? No, Steel Creek Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gold Hill.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So I might have to drop by there, but yeah, definitely. You come by and see us. We had a lot of people at Heroes Con that came by the table and said, listen to the show and really like it, and that we absolutely love that.
We thank that person.
Yeah, profusely. So
thank you, listener.
Yeah. All right, so now let's take a spin of the comic rack.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's time for the comic rack. Hey, nice rack.
Knock it off, perv.
No, it's the latest news from the enormous world of comics, right here on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, first thing in the comic rack. Marvel Comics has been teasing this Marvel Now for quite a while. And the funny thing is, this story I have rewritten like several different times because
It's changed.
different stuff comes out. Oh, okay, I got to change how that is written. And then this morning they released, because they'd been releasing these teaser images with 2 characters. Everything was almost like kind of like a playing card, where one side is up and then at the bottom it goes into another character.
Gotcha.
But they were shattered in the middle. Like they were breaking apart, and as they were breaking apart, it morphed into the other character.
Ah, interesting.
They released a lot of those. They the most recent one they released was Solo, who is part of Deadpool's Mercs for Money, and Jessica Jones. And they had also released. Let me find the list. Okay, they had released Fool Killer, who's also one of the Mercs for Money. So apparently, they're pushing them a little closer to the forefront. Fool Killer and Wasp. The new Wasp. Then Odin's Son and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Miss America and Doctor Doom. Black Panther and Prowler. Miss Marvel and Riri, who is a character who made her own armor. She's 15 years old, and she made her own armor at home like Iron Man.
I see a picture.
Yeah, it's impressive. And it's silver, so it's almost like a new War Machine.
Nice.
Yeah. Captain Marvel and Slapstick. And Slapstick is also part of the Mercs for Money. So that's 3.
They're pushing that.
Yeah, they're pushing it pretty good. But they all had either the word divided or divided we at the top. And then with the image being shattered in the middle, it was speculation that, what exactly is going on?
Divided,
here?
yeah. And then this new image came out.
They released a new image. This is much larger, and it shows 2 different groups. They have announced "Divided We Stand," which is the new status quo after Civil War II. They released a large teaser image created by Mike Deodato that depicts 2 groups of Marvel comic characters on opposite sides. The first group has Doctor Doom holding Iron Man's helmet.
Yeah.
But no Tony anywhere to be seen. And this is...
Who's that big dinosaur foot?
That's... I figure it's got to be Fing Fang Foom.
Oh, the dragon.
It's got to be, yeah. But this is a new Doctor Doom. He doesn't have the mask.
Yeah,
and
his
he's
skin's
like
fine.
model handsome. And he is seemingly trying to turn over a new leaf. That's the thing. He's been trying to convince Tony that he's turning over a new leaf and they need to work together.
Wow.
And Tony's not buying it.
Yeah.
That would be a hard sell. But Doctor Doom holding Iron Man's helmet with no Tony in sight. Fool Killer, Solo, Jessica Jones, Maria Hill, Captain Marvel, Thor Odin's Son, who has a new look now, Elektra, Captain America Steve Rogers, Slapstick, Gamora, Cable, Black Panther, and the big green foot that we were talking about that I kind of assume has to be Fing Fang Foom. On the opposite side is Riri in her homemade armor, Mosaic, the new Inhuman character that we'll talk about in just a minute, and the new Wasp, Miss America, Gwenpool, who's apparently in continuity now.
What? Oh, I see her, yeah. And then Squirrel Girl. Prowler, Moon Girl, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Doctor Strange, the Incredible Chulk, the Amadeus Cho Hulk, Miss Marvel, and Hawkeye, Katie Bishop Hawkeye. Yeah.
Because Clint Barton has passed on the mantle to his daughter. There's no Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Nope.
So the question is, coming out of Civil War II, this is the big question is, okay, what's going to happen? But there's obviously they're taking a lot of movie level heroes and putting them right next to what you would call C and D level heroes.
I don't recognize
exactly
half these people.
Exactly. I
really
think they're using this to pull them
to
up.
elevate them.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, and if you've got somebody if you're reading the new Black Panther series, and all of a sudden you see Solo or Fool Killer or Slapstick is not really gonna hold their own book. But characters like the Miss America or stuff like that, that might pull those characters up a little better to where they might hold their own.
Get a series or join a team. Yeah,
exactly. So this is what we're having after Civil War II is over with.
Wowee.
And Marvel Comics and the American Cancer Society together will be releasing a series of variant covers in September to honor National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
In September, Iron Man, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Thor, and the Avengers will be featured on all new variant covers with special light blue colored costumes to bring awareness to one of the most common cancers among men. The titles will be all new, all different. Avengers number 14, Captain America Steve Rogers number 6, Captain Marvel number 9, Invincible Iron Man 13, and Mighty Thor number 11. Not Wolverine, because that's the last person you'd want a prostate exam from.
Cough.
Bub.
Yeah.
Now, as we were talking about a little earlier, back in April, Marvel Comics began teasing the mystery of who is Mosaic. Now we know that Mosaic will be a new Inhuman character introduced in Uncanny Inhumans number 11 and starring in his own series in October by writer Jeffrey Thorne and artist Kerry Randolph. Mosaic is Morris Sakic, a beautiful and successful professional basketball player, a selfish jerk, and unbeknownst to him, a latent Inhuman. After undergoing pterogenesis, Morris finds himself without a body of his own and must occupy the bodies of others to survive.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's interesting right there.
How does he do it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How does he do it, and how does he deal with the fact that his life of, basically, you might as well just say life of luxury is gone.
That's crushing.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to turn bad and be, unconsolable.
Wait, no, he's an
good guy.
anti-hero, basically.
An anti-hero,
yeah. So I'm interested in it to see where they go with that. And Mark Millar is returning to Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
But not with Dave Lazinski.
Oh.
Dave Lazinski was the...
Lazuski
was the man under the mask who came up with the idea for, in the story, came up with the idea to be a superhero and ended up getting his ass kicked most of the time. But this new version will start in January. Millar and co-creator John Romita Jr. will debut the new ongoing series Kick-Ass: The New Girl. It will feature a new African-American female lead, a new location, and with an all-new supporting cast.
Ooh.
So there's going to be no real connection to the original
Kick-Ass.
at all. It's essentially, I think it's going to be he inspires somebody to do it as well.
To do it. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she'll have a little more luck with getting her ass kicked.
Hopefully. And they will also start a new Hit Girl ongoing series from Millar and Raphael Albuquerque.
Cool.
That will also start in January.
Damn, he's busy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He stays busy all the time.
Yeah.
And he cranks out some incredible stuff. He really does. But that wraps up our comic rack. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to explore the multiverse and finish up the countdown to Final Crisis.
Thank God.
Just now, another kid dropped out of school. There's one every 20 seconds. Over 200 kids an hour. That adds up to nearly 5,000 kids every school day.
If we do nothing, 3.5 million kids won't receive a diploma over the next 4 years. But there is someone who can change that. And that someone is you. United Way knows that kids who have a caring adult in their life are more likely to make it. So make a pledge. Tutor a child who needs help. Mentor a kid who needs someone on their side. Volunteer to read to children. Because the path to success or failure starts long before graduation day. And the difference between a graduate and a dropout could be you. Take the pledge to volunteer now at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Now, it's time to explore the multiverse. On the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, now it's time for our Explore the Multiverse segment, where we take the Ninja Troll spotlight and shine it on the DC multiverse, which has gotten larger and larger and larger and larger and larger.
Oh my God.
We went back because Mike had just started reading DC Comics, he wanted to understand the whole multiverse thing where there's different Earth 2, 3, 4, S, Q,
I didn't get any of that stuff.
Y. Yeah, he did. So he went back. He started at Flash 123, the Flash of Two Worlds, which was the first instance of
1961,
the crossover of the two of any two worlds.
Right.
And it started the DC multiverse. He started there, and he went from there on up to now we're up to the end of Countdown to Final Crisis, which was 2008.
Yeah, just roughly. It was just before the Final Crisis release, the year leading up, just after 52. And let's see. Final Crisis had come out in this is 2014. This is the new edition. 2008.
2008. Okay.
Yes, it was 2007 to 2008.
Okay.
52 issues, counting down.
Yeah, it was a big one. It was a pretty big one.
So we've been going putting along here, trying to get this done. I look, I want to be a completist. I realize that that's an important virtue in the comic books world. So to be a good academic, I am a college professor. So to be a good academic, I wanted to read all the primary sources. But damn, I gave up on this one.
At some point, you just got to tap out.
Okay. No joke. I read 34 issues, and I was like, holy Christ, I got to finish this.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Because we were doing 5-6 issues at a time, and I thought, well, this is important stuff. This should be in our archive and whatnot, leading up to a great story, which is the third masterpiece, right, of the
trilogy,
Yeah, Grant Morrison's Final Crisis.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're going to do a big wrap up here, and I'm going to tell you what's going on. And I also got some funny and cool facts that have to do with Countdown to Final Crisis. So here we go, Timmy D.
Okay.
All right, so quickly, Countdown is the name of a multi-day series of interrelated events culminating in something referred to as the Final Crisis. It involved the confluence of dissent among the Monitor's ranks. It also featured Jimmy Olsen developing superpowers, Mary Marvel being tempted by Eclipso, and then Darkseid manipulating events behind the scenes. So some cool sort of like very Tarantino-like interrelated stories that then come together at the end. And what we found is that, this was a very lengthy sort of thing. So Timmy, if I had bought all these comics, right, and really done this, I would have spent $155.48 back in 2008.
Yeah.
So in today's dollars, it's like $500.
Well, today you can get them out of the dollar bin.
Yeah, that would have been $8. Yeah. And okay, so this story has actually nothing to do with Final Crisis at all. Except
they just wanted to sell some comics.
Yeah, I mean, to keep people going. I mean, 52 was a huge success. So I think they were really trying to do this every week type of issue and keep people engaged.
And they've done weekly stuff since then. Totally. Batman Eternal and Batman and Robin Eternal. They've done
Justice League. Wasn't Justice League 3000 or what? Justice League a weekly?
No, they may have had one that was, but it.
But Action's back on as a weekly, right?
No, it's twice a month. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much everything now is twice a month.
That's all they can handle without crapifying it. But here's the deal. So Grant Morrison all the while was writing Final Crisis. And he didn't even know that they were doing this really until issue 10.
Wow.
And then he was like, what you doing with my characters?
What's going on?
And they said, don't worry, Grant. You don't have to worry about any of the tie-ins. It's all good. We're going to wrap it up at the end. In typical Crisis crossover
but everything
format.
Back to normal at the end.
Yeah. So the hope and the sort of promotional aspects was that this would have been as good as 52.
Yeah.
And I think even like Dan DiDio said this will be 52 done right, which I was like 52 was done right.
52 was awesome. Yeah.
What's wrong with you, man? But I guess you always say that. You want to be as good as your next picture.
You're the hype man. You're pushing the next thing.
Totally. People could be pooping in the corner. You're like, look, they're potty training.
Yeah,
we're going to be there. Here's some interesting sales figures. So just to show you how bad it was. Sales of Countdown began with issue 51. And they sold roughly at about 91,000 orders from Diamond Comics distributors. So we got their numbers from them, making it the 19th best-selling comic in May.
I was about to say, 91,000 is pretty.
That's good.
It's pretty good for a
crossover
for then, yeah.
And DC, no doubt. Yeah. And then after the first issue, sales steadily dropped to a low of 72,000. It was a steady decline though, because people were starting to fall off, which was at issue 40. So yeah. Not too bad. So roughly about the time that Grant Morrison was like, yeah,
What are you doing?
what are you doing here? And then sales of subsequent issues briefly jumped to a high, approximately of 88,000, but gradually declined back to the 67,000 range towards the end.
Yeah.
So it held at a decent point
Yeah.
because it started getting good.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit about what the deal is with that. But I will say that IGN and other critics have rated this as one of the worst crossover stories of all time.
Oh man.
Yeah. I don't know if it was by DC, but I think it might be of all time.
I think it was okay. It was 52 issues, and it could have been 25.
It really, really, really could have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there were certain aspects that could have really been thinned out, which I'll mention.
Yeah.
But some cool.
And anytime you have a weekly like that, you cannot have the same art team
No.
working the whole time.
And they
so
didn't.
you have sometimes really big jarring changes in the book, and it hurts the consistency.
And they even had, like I was doing a lot of the history of the multiverse stuff, and then also origin stories.
Yeah.
And they kept those going on for a while. They pretty much did every Batman villain, ever. Because I suppose that has something to do with Final Crisis, because, right, Batman dies.
Well, Batman dies, yeah, so.
But not from
But
villains.
not from them, no.
It's from an Omega beam, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I just ruined it.
Damn it.
So those are some fun facts here.
Like I said, I've said this before. Superman
He's
on the cover of
with
the
him
trade paperback,
dead.
Superman is holding Batman's dead body.
He's pretty much
That's
dead.
pretty much a spoiler right there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about spoiling that.
Fair enough. Touche. Okay. But quickly here, we're going to sort of do a summary here of the whole story, and then get into some of the details that were interesting. So, all right, no big story or no big deal, but Darkseid is behind the whole thing. They show him in the beginning. He's ultimately behind everything that goes on. And this is Clash of the Titans style. It's pretty cool. So what he's doing is he's actually orchestrating what's going on throughout the universe, making people do things with his agents.
It's essentially his chess moves.
And he's playing chess.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not like when
So
they
they're showing
move, they move. It's not like Zeus like that, but
Yeah.
stuff happens. And it's the narrative is the game of chess that takes us through. So, so this is a very much, we've seen this before where bad guys have wanted to remake the universe in their own image.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Darkseid's turn.
Parallax. Yeah.
He just hasn't
It's my
done
turn.
it. My turn, damn it. And this is really happening because of the death of the fourth world. Right, we started seeing some of the new gods die, those sorts of things.
Yeah,
like,
who was the one? Was it Light Ray?
Light Ray
Yeah.
was just assassinated.
Yeah.
But that was by Darkseid.
Oh, well, nice.
Yeah, he blasted him out of the sky.
Ah,
with an Omega beam from far away.
that'll do it.
That's why everything, when it went weird and we're like, what was that? It was clearly Darkseid.
Yeah.
When you find out later on. And so he wants to make what's called a fifth world. And he's marshaling his forces on Apocalypse, even resurrecting Vermar Wunderbar, despite his earlier attempt to assassinate Darkseid, notably putting his forces in defensive deployments. And in conversation with Metron, he then indicated that he knew more than his fellow New Gods about what was transpiring with the mysterious God Killer, which he refused to share. Contenting,
of course. I'm not going to tell you.
No, because you're next. And basically, he just wanted to feel like he knew more than Metron for once. That's why.
That's a tall order.
Yeah. So we found out that he's playing on a giant cosmic chessboard, manipulating all the key events. And this is really interesting. This is cool. So you remember like the whole Jimmy Olsen thing? And it's like, well, why does he have
Crazy
powers?
and yeah.
Why does it come and go and all that stuff and everything? So Darkseid actually turned him into something called a soul catcher, which allows him to hold the power of the new gods in his body. Yeah. Which is why
that's why it was going to all different powers.
And freaking out and being all the different things, and he could be one thing one day and one another, and then also taken away. Because Darkseid could just amp it up and put it on.
Wow.
And when he sat in John Henry Irons' chair to find out what was what, it almost blew up the machine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and he even protected Jimmy. Like there was a moment when Jimmy was fighting a parademon, and then out of the sky it just blasted. Right, it got blasted by an Omega beam and destroyed it.
He would need to protect, because if if Jimmy had, I mean, this is just me spitballing here, but like if he had a new god's power in him and then he got killed,
that power's gone.
That power's gone.
Or would be released.
Yeah. So he needs to protect him.
Totally.
Yeah.
So Jimmy's like this pawn, but he's carrying like the secret film and stuff.
It's a really powerful pawn.
Mr. Action.
Yes, Mr. Action.
Don't doubt Mr. Action.
Best name.
Yeah. And he also protected all along the way the Karate Kid.
Oh yeah.
And the reason the Karate Kid's so important is that he is the carrier of the Motricoccus virus.
Is that what's causing the fourth world to
go
away?
Hang on one second here. Motricoccus virus.
Yeah, it's a
motocross videos. Come on. Motricoccus.
How do you spell that?
Mortococcus virus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you here. All right. So here's what it is. So the Mortococcus virus is an adaptive strain of the OMAC virus in the far future. Right? Karate Kid, 30th century.
Yep, he's in the 30th century.
And arguably the most fatal disease known to humankind. Val Armour, Karate Kid, was contracted with this disease in his journey of the future in which the virus was originated. And he had been trying to become cured of this infection. Eventually, the virus was released on the reconstructed reality of Earth 51, in which the full potential of the virus didn't just kill organisms, but causes humans and every evolved life form to devolve back into savage humanoid animals. Yeah, good time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So anyway, he's the carrier of this. All right. Why is this important? Because Darkseid wants to use this later as a weapon. And later, Darkseid attempts to recruit Mary Marvel, and it's a really, really funny scene. Mary's in her apartment, and Darkseid just walks in through the window.
Yikes.
And goes, "Surprised to see me, Mary?" Like in his like,
"Surprised to see me, Mary." Darkseid.
And basically, Eclipso is the agent that he sends to do this, to try and, because he wants her power. He wants Mary's power. But she turns on him and escapes. So Mary does from Calypso.
And she's still powered by Black Adam.
Yep. The interesting ending there when she sees him again.
Okay.
Yeah. He also assigned Desaad to ensure the great disaster comes about, and that's in quotes, and also assigned Granny Goodness to recruit new female Furies from Earth in the guise of Athena. So remember when they went to go see Athena, Harley and Holly? That was Granny Goodness.
I love me some Granny Goodness.
I know she had that like weird.
She's all butch.
But the great disaster is actually the destruction of Earth 51, which happens in a kind of a weird way. Apparently Monarch, right, is in a containment suit.
Yeah.
And Superman / Boy Prime like gets into a battle with him and punches it open, and all that releases into Earth 51, just obliterating it. So really cool destruction of a dimension, right? Of a verse. So it has now been indicated that Darkseid seeks the rise of the fifth world, possibly on Earth, and is harnessing the great disaster and the death of the new gods to bring this about. Additionally, Darkseid has been manipulating the Monitor Solomon, who's the bad one, to bring about a war between the Monitors and Monarch for the fate of the multiverse. So he wants all those guys dead because he knows they'll stand in his way. So this is a cool part at the end of the Monitor's storyline. In the multiversal nexus, Solomon prepares to kill Forerunner, if you remember her from the beginning.
Yeah.
But is interrupted by the arrival of Darkseid, who, wishing to continue their game of chess, because he actually plays chess against Solomon, for the fate of the universe. This is very much like the Seventh Seal, right? The movie. And offers Solomon the next move as they witness Brother Eye assimilating Apocalypse. That's one of the things that I haven't told you yet, but Brother Eye goes crazy and starts to assimilate things. And the OMAC dude, the creator of Brother Eye, is given the OMAC virus.
The creator of Brother Eye was Bruce Wayne.
But apparently in this, he's not. It's not. Yeah, it's some other guy.
Huh.
Which I'll find out here. So we find out that Darkseid reveals that Solomon was responsible for Captain Atom irradiating Bloodhaven, causing his transformation into Monarch. So Captain Atom is the one who becomes Monarch.
Oh.
It's not Hawk and Dove. So Monarch is now like an ultimate evil form. And because the Monarch died in the previous, was it Infinite Crisis?
Did he?
I thought so. Right, they got rid of him, but they never die. They always come back for Monarch the 13th, Part 5.
This time it's personal.
Yeah. Solomon, the Monitor, disturbed by Darkseid's plans to control the Fifth World, appears to the challengers. Right now, all the heroes have come together. So it's not just that Ray Palmer, Ryan Choi, Donna Troy, and Jason Todd group. It now includes Mary Marvel and Karate Kid and Una, and then also Jimmy Olsen, and then also I'm forgetting the last one. The last group, Holly and Harley.
Okay.
Yeah, because they've all been fooled.
Yeah.
So now they have something in common, which is very cool. Telling them that Darkseid is too dangerous to attack and sends them away. And he deposits them on Nyx Watans. He's actually one of the monitors. They create a new dimension. Newly recreated Earth 51, where the Great Disaster unfolded. And then Solomon is later seen in the multiversal nexus planning to stop Darkseid, and then Solomon later places a chess piece of Darkseid on the source wall as a memento of his victory. So he defeats Darkseid in chess.
Nice.
And then witnesses Donna Troy, Kyle Rayner, Ray Palmer, and Forager agreeing to act as watchmen for the monitors at the urging of Nyx Watan, who is impressed by the challenger's selflessness and repulsed by his brethren's lack of foresight. So essentially, these people are certainly dead. And if a monitor catches them, they're dead, and they redeem themselves because they've helped defeat Darkseid. So we found out, we're jumping back in here, that Jimmy Olsen is a container for the power of the new gods. He sends Mary Marvel, or Darkseid here, sends Mary Marvel, who has been coerced into taking back her dark powers to capture him, because at one point she gives up the powers, and Darkseid holds them in a little bead. And he goes, Mary, you left this in the fourth world, when he comes to see her.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, he's like, no doubt, you know that this is your power. And then she goes, no, you're wrong, Darkseid, and goes, Shazam!
Oh!
And then Krakow, she turns into not Red Mary, but White Mary.
Wow.
Yeah, look up White Mary Marvel, and you'll see she's not as sexy as Black Mary Marvel, but she looks like the Mary Marvel dress, but it's all white. And she, for a while, takes on the full power of Shazam, of the wizard.
Nice.
And it's because, not Billy Batson, but what's the other guy? What's the
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman has come back now and is now the full Shazam, where he's Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And that was like a thing hanging out there.
I've been working on next week we're going to do showcase for Captain Marvel. So I've been working on that.
What's up?
I've got some really interesting.
I can't wait to meet the drunk uncle.
Uncle Marvel. Yeah, he was a pain. Some interesting sales numbers from the 40s.
Wow. Crushing, right? Of
Oh,
Superman?
absolutely. It was 1942. It was crushing today. I think it was 1942 or 43. Captain Marvel sold 14.2 million copies.
Holy moly.
In the year.
What?
So they were selling over 1 million a month.
Damn.
Yeah. That would be crushing today.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. I mean, not even Final Crisis Countdown reaches that level. Why not? It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a really awesome scene, right? We talked about the Mary Marvel moment there. Okay, so all right. So now Jimmy's kind of losing control and things are really crazy. But yeah, Jimmy turns into a giant Godzilla-like turtle, like Gamera, and has the most epic battle with Darkseid. So Darkseid's controlling him now that he's close by and coming to take over the Earth to make it into the fifth world. And he even teams up with Superman, and then Darkseid makes him radiate kryptonite, which cripples Superman.
Yikes.
And so Ray Palmer is back, right? And now the reason why Ray disappeared was because he was trying to find the cure for the Mortococcus virus.
Oh, okay.
And he knew about it. That's why he went
into the
Palmerverse. Yeah. because that was a way that he could find the cure.
Yeah.
I guess. They end up finding out the cure because he has to jump through time as well, so it's crazy. But he now understands that Darkseid's behind all this, what everything is going on. He basically reveals it. That's why we see in the beginning of the story that Ray Palmer is the savior. Right?
Oh, okay.
And that Darkseid is the bad guy. So Ray Palmer manages to shut off Darkseid's control of Jimmy. And then the villain is confronted by a giant turtle like Jimmy for an epic battle scene.
It's like Power Rangers.
It's pretty awesome. And then after battling Jimmy across the Metropolis landscape, and we see the Hall of Justice, by the way, like ton of times. And it looks great. Like I was waiting.
Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, and then it's just stepped on.
Oh, man.
Darkseid moves in for the kill, only to witness the Atom, right now, emerge from Jimmy's head. Right, he he grows. Yeah, and then Palmer quickly destroys the vessel of the new gods' powers, freeing them into the void. So that's exactly what he didn't want to have happen. Enraged, Darkseid is taken by surprise when a boom tomb opens above the skies of Metropolis. This is incredible. His scion and son Orion in classic gear, classic Kirby style.
He hasn't been seen in a long time.
And he looked pretty messed up too. He was all like dark and
grizzled.
And messed up. Orion emerges from the boom tube, having managed to escape being murdered by the Infinity Man.
Oh.
And he's burning and all this crap's going on. And then Orion and Darkseid battle like epically. Punch, punch, crow, crow, crow. Wow. Just incredible. And after a furious exchange, and at the end of it all, Darkseid realizes it was not meant to be in his plan, and his heart is ripped from his chest by his own son.
Yikes.
Yeah. You got to see this. It's kind of awesome. And that's, Timmy, sort of how things end. What we sort of end up with now is that, as I mentioned before, in the last issue, the group of heroes, they sort of now act as so the universe is restored, right? This is a great scene here where Mary rejects Black Adam. She still has his powers. She regains it after she like basically punches Darkseid to the moon. When she becomes White Mary again, she still has the Black Mary power. So she's got both in her now.
When did she become Proud Mary?
When did she become
Proud Mary?
Proud Mary.
Keep on rolling.
I will. The OMAC virus is re-released, which I think helps us set up. But again, it's not really I haven't read Final Crisis, so I don't know if it's good yet. The monitors come to reckoning here with all of the heroes. Ray Palmer is back. And then there's a really silly, lighthearted moment at the very end with Holly and Harley where she says, okay, man, oh man, Harley says, you got something to say, Harley? I was just thinking, really? Yeah, there's so much going on here and out there, places that we don't even know about. Everything's so scary and uncertain. We never know when fate will shake it all up. And Holly says, that's pretty deep, Harley. You got to wonder how we'll ever make it through, said Harley. A positive attitude and lots of denial? I guess we can fall back on what's gotten us this far. And then she says, never change, Harley. And that's the end. That's the damn end.
That's odd.
So this is where it falls off. I mean, it's just like, what? You kidding me?
Yeah, it seems like they didn't really know how to finish it there.
The big criticism is that they basically outsourced this book like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
they would have to. I mean,
to get it all done.
Yeah.
There's that scene, by the way. That's Orion ripping Darkseid's. He says,
crap.
"I'm nothing like you, Dad." Yeah.
Wow.
And he pretty much kind of dies, but not really, in a way. And so anyway, Timmy. Sorry to end on such a like.
Well, hey, you didn't write it.
I know, but I got to report on it.
Report on it. Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
It's like I don't want bad weather is bad weather. But next week you're gonna do a Captain Marvel showcase.
Yes,
which will be fabulous. And then not the week after that. Actually, we're gonna be off next week.
Is it next week that you're okay?
Next week's the 4th of July holiday, and I'm gonna be in upstate New York.
Okay.
For a wedding, some good friends.
So it'll be the next week we'll be doing the Shazam showcase.
Fabulous.
And it's really interesting. So
that's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
So like I'm dying to know more, and like you always tell a great story of how things go, and the history's concise. But when we come back after that, we're going to start Final Crisis.
Final Crisis. Yeah. I need to reread that because it's been a while since I read it.
Not this copy. This one's mine.
No, that one's yours. Yeah, I've got my own copy at home, so it's probably in the floor of my daughter's room. I'll have to go and retrieve it.
No doubt.
Because
Emma's got good taste.
She's got my Infinity Gauntlet trade paperback. She's got Final Crisis. She's because I think she was reading Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Did she make it through?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And I was telling her that it was like the trilogy, and I gave her Infinite Crisis and then Final Crisis, and I said there's also Infinity Gauntlet that's coming in the movies in Marvel, and that one's it's 6 issues. It's a whole lot quicker. You can get through that. So
it's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a really awesome story. And as a matter of fact, my I don't know if you saw my profile picture on Facebook right now is the cover of Infinity Gauntlet number 4.
Come and get me.
Yeah, Thanos going with the gauntlet going, come and get me.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait for that movie.
Yeah, I love the Infinity Gauntlet. It's always been one of my favorites. So, but yeah, it's so cool to give her stuff like that to read. Like she was reading the Death of Superman series a couple weeks ago, and I told her, I was like, wait till, because this is when Doomsday was introduced, and when he first showed up, he was still covered
right?
and wrapped,
like a Kryptonian
and he
prison.
had like one arm free, and at the beginning of the first issue of it, he's standing there and he's got one hand free, and he puts a hand out and a bird lands in it.
Oh,
and then he crushes it, and I was like, she started reading, I was like, let me know when you get to the bird, the bird panel, and she goes, God, that is just hateful. And I was, well, he's Doomsday.
Yep.
But that really set the tone right there. It was like he crushed the bird and then laughed. So let you know this dude's a bad motor scooter.
He is.
He just does not care.
Yes.
But that wraps up our Exploring the Multiverse segment. Before we get out of here, we want to give you our picks of the week. Mine is The Curse of the Eel. By Jorge Santiago Jr.
Our buddy.
Our buddy from Heroes Con that we interviewed on the last episode.
That's right.
This is his series. As we were leaving, he gave us the first 6 issues of The Curse of the Eel.
Yeah, it's a black and white book, beautiful art.
Yes.
And you just passed this to me, so I'm going to read this now.
And it's a quick read, and you at the end of it, okay, where's number 7?
Really?
It's left at a spot to where, okay, he was talking in his interview about how he's continuing on, and he thinks he's about halfway through the story, and it leaves you at a spot to where you're okay. I need the rest of them.
I need it, man. Come on, Jorge.
Yeah. So it's let me, while you're doing your pick, I'm gonna
get his contact info.
I'm gonna check his site.
Cool.
And
see if issue 7's available.
Let me find that, and then.
Well, my pick this week was an super interesting documentary that I found on Netflix that kind of surprised me. It's called Nintendo Quest.
Oh.
And it's it chronicles one man's dare from his buddy to buy every NES cartridge from the original Nintendo Entertainment System from the 80s in 30 days without using modern technology like the internet or whatever.
So you can't find them on the internet.
He has to go to the store. He has to trade, talk on the phone and everything. And I tell you,
challenge extended.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
We would have done it in 3 days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could be done in a couple hours work on eBay. You could probably do it.
And he has his own budget and his own time. Like he can't just take off work. There's parts in the movie he's got to go back and work so he can keep it going. But man, when I tell you that there are some games out there that are so rare.
Oh yeah. There's plenty that were not huge releases, didn't do well, so they didn't make more.
No.
And, yeah.
But there's something like 678 games.
Wow.
And yeah, man, it's amazing. Hey, I kept some of my cartridges. Some of the ones that he was looking for, I have that are rare, right? But of course, it's over. I can't sell them to him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I really encourage you guys to check this out. This was such a fun movie. If you're a Nintendo fan, it's like everything you ever wanted because there's so much. The documentary maker is a young guy, but man, they crushed it.
That's cool.
Really good.
That's very cool. It's an interesting concept there, and that was something I've talked about before. Is like when I was collecting comics, and when you started collecting comics, late 80s or early 90s, there was no internet. So like your
store was your friends or your
and
connection.
That was one of the things that this 2 weeks ago when we were at Heroes Con, I could go to eBay and I could have Deathstroke, the Terminator #1 from 1991.
Oh, but you spent your lunch break looking for it.
Yeah, I went looking for it and that was fun. It was a lot of fun trying to find a place that had it and going and asking, I got 2 through 43, but I don't have #1.
Nope.
So and that was the fun part is like, you found out, there's a comic book store in Monroe. Let's go out there and see what they got. And you would go through and find the stuff that you needed to fill spots in your collection.
I'll tell you,
that was the fun part of it.
You got to go to Dave's Comics.
I think
that
I'm
still
really
exists.
Gonna be doing that.
You need to. Well, I'm saying you and our listener.
Yeah.
And our Ninja Troll Nation, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking for deals.
Yeah, because there's gonna be definitely some deals, and I think just buying a long box, have no idea what's in it. That right there just is like wow. That would be so much fun to see what you have in it after you buy it. That would be cool.
All right, 6 issues of
I've got
Power Pack.
6 copies of Power Pack number 13.
Yeah,
nice.
The Death of Vapor Girl.
All right, now I looked up Jorge. It's JorgeSantiagoJr.com.
Yep.
You have to put the junior on there because there's a Jorge Santiago that is a mixed martial artist that fights for the UFC. So you have to throw the junior in there to make sure. So,
but Santiago Jr. might have a chance, but he's tough.
That's right.
But he's not the same guy.
He's got cool hair though.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, check out JorgeSantiagoJr.com, and The Curse of the Eel is the series that he is putting out. And I cannot say enough about it. It's well drawn. It's the story moves along nicely. It's a very good series.
Yeah, black and white.
Yep.
The only thing that's color is the covers, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And he's incredible with using negative space, positive space.
Yeah.
I was just thumbing through. His angles are really dynamic.
Yep.
It looks like a great read. I'm excited to dig in.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. And like I said, I'm waiting on number 7. So yeah, it's a really good read. So you check that out, Jorge Santiago Jr. And that's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Ninja Troll Digicast. Remember, for the latest news from all around geek culture, make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook.com/Ninja Troll Digicast.
On Twitter at Ninja Troll Show.
And Instagram at Ninja Troll Digicast.
We're on YouTube at youtube.com/C/Ninja Troll Digicast.
And you can always visit us at NinjaTrollDigicast.com. And while you're there, click on the subscribe to iTunes button to get the Ninja Troll on iTunes. Make sure you join us next week. Same Ninja time, same Ninja channel.
You've been listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Tune in next time when you'll hear Tim say,
"Let's hang 10 for justice!"
This is the Ninja Troll Digicast, the defenders of all things geek culture.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.